This podcast is intended for adults only. We do not condone the use of any illegal substances, and anything we consume is for educational purposes only.
Because, we should be afraid of a plant that grows from the ground. And, endocannabinoid system is, it's in your body and it produces cannabinoids. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna rant. Just play the music, Mitch.
I'll be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, do the enterprise, move supersize. Y'all extra like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize. Yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too though, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
You're listening to the Canna podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm one of your hosts, Mitch Narito.
And I am your second host,
There's only
Eric
two of us.
Esteban. Because only because we're also the second ranked Filipino American podcast in the country. How crazy is that, Mitch? How crazy is that? Episode 55. And we are what was
We're
this?
ranked number 2 in listens.
What was this podcast monetizing mechanism that you got an email from that sent us an email that said we were it's just I had to open the podcast with that because that's the best news I heard in a while.
It is. So yeah, we get earlier this week. It is, just for date's sake, today's Friday the 15th, but earlier this week I got an email, and it was like, hey, you're ranked number 2 in Filipino American podcasts. And I was like, what is that? I thought it was a phishing scam at first, so I was very wary, right? But it's pretty much they scraped all the metadata off of all the major platforms. And when you search Filipino American and you search...
just Filipino American, because it was Filipino American podcasts.
So, we're number 2. Number 1 is This Filipino American Life, which is well-deserved.
Shout out to them. I mean, they've been holding it down for, 10 years now at least, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they celebrating some kind of long...
20 years, I think.
20 years. So, they've been... I mean, to be second to them is pretty damn awesome. It's kind of an honor to be second to them. That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty good, though. That's a notable achievement,
Yo, we just wanted to talk about weed and, being Filipino on a podcast, and to be ranked, that's pretty cool, right? And also the way that they listed it, we're like social activists. It was like a social activist podcast with commentary. So I was like, oh, wow. Because I feel like some of the people that come here to listen to us are people that are trying to figure out the cannabis laws. And I'd love to talk about my trip to New York and how I got to meet with Dear Floor and Lisa and Brian and everybody from there, because and eventually, and we've been teasing this for a minute, I've been talking about it a lot, but now I literally I really did meet with them and really hung out with them and talk with them, and they're beautiful people, and then when I hang out with them on a let's go have dinner type of tip, they're just bomb people. And
so shout out to Dear Floor. They sent me a care package.
I saw you with your picture on your care package.
They sent me a bunch of low dose edibles. They're 5 milligrams a piece. They have.
I think they're CBD. I'm pretty sure.
There is CBD. It's THC and CBD.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's a mixture, and it's weird though, because I feel like I've had different kinds of edibles, but these ones, even though that they're 5 or 10 milligrams, they hit really well.
Yeah, no, they're nice. The edibles aren't really necessarily I don't like. It was funny because when I was in New York, the person who I was staying with worked at a dispensary in New York, and so I was like, I know that the 100 milligram cola that I got from the dispensary the last time I was at the dispensary, I was like, oh, this is my dosage. I need about 100 milligrams of edible to really hit me.
Yeah.
In the same way where for Dear Floor is great because they taste great.
Yeah.
And their Filipino flavors like calamansi, which is my favorite. Like when they were like, "You want a bag?" I'm like, "Calamansi, please," but because they were bomb. But
So they also have ube
they have
boba.
tamarind.
I didn't get the tamarind. I'm interested because people were saying the tamarind.
Sampalok, so the tamarind for me is like that. That's like I love that.
What I get? So I got the calamansi. I got ube boba, and what else? Buko pandan, and there was one more. I think it's
But that's what I'm saying. Like even just being able to have those distinct flavors. I'm like I know at this point now it's a trite internet meme type of saying, but representation still matters, man, and it feels good to taste those Filipino flavors. Like even when we were doing shows at the Brew Yard and we got to have calamansi flavored beer and ube flavored beer.
Did you have that Jollibee beer? I was I wanted to try it, but it sounded too sweet to me.
No, but I'm reminded at how fun a venue that is. So I really think we need to get back at Brew Yard again.
Show them some
Sooner
love.
than
If you're
later.
in the Glendale area, Brew Yard Brewery.
Yeah, no, I mean Filipino American owned businesses is what I want to support and where I want to perform at, and when I want to, where the venues that I want to use are, I just want to support the community, and I feel like places like businesses like Deer Floor, who I met at Stephen Raga's event, who would be the first Filipino American to be elected to the New York Senate. And the fact that he has Lisa from Deer Floor advocating for him at one of his campaign events is pretty cool to think where cannabis is going to be on his priority list, which I think is pretty great. And because he knows, because in New York, I mean they've replaced the urine smell in Times Square with cannabis, which is what I enjoy that now. Look, New York was one of the best trips because I did New York. I played "If I Rule the World" by Nas, and the first line's "Imagine smoking weed with the street without cops harassing." Right, that's the first line. So that's what I did. I walked the streets without cops harassing, and I smoked weed, and it was wonderful. And then I went to see a Broadway play, stoned as hell because I walked smoking Barrelman blunts the whole way. I think I rolled about 24 of them Barrelman blunts for New York, and passed them out and smoked them as at will.
Mango. That's what it was.
Mango sherbet?
No, just mango. The other Deer Floor.
This guy. What a high conversation. I literally just recounted my whole trip to New York and left out getting a tattoo and going to a bomb-ass Star Wars May the 4th party.
Oh,
where
nice.
my boy Mikey from Planet X, he set it up to where, well, they have the largest... on the East Coast, the largest round. So they have the largest LED screen. So they can simulate the round like in Disney, where they can create environments with the screen. Yeah. And they've showed the original Star Wars on that screen on May the 4th, and I went to that right after I got off the plane. Brought my luggage there and shit.
So tell us more about the comedy festival, because
the Asian Comedy Festival. As I nibble on my gift packet,
pretty sure it's all crunchy in our listeners' ears right now.
From the Tochi salmon chips, they were one of the sponsors of the thing, and I ended up buying like 12 bags of Tochi chips.
I benefited. I got a sriracha flavor. You're so close. This is going to be
such a satisfying crunch. Oh my God. Anyway, no, but the New York comedy, the Asian Comedy Festival was bomb. I was on the show with Michael Cruz Kane and a whole bunch of I'm trying to think now because we smoked a lot of weed beforehand because obviously this is a cannabis podcast, and I'm trying to think of all. I hung out with my boy John Reyes, who's the artistic director of Second City here in New York, who was the artistic director of Second City in Chicago, and now that's the Filipino right there. He's doing big things in comedy. He's awesome. But and shout out to Charmaine Percaro, who's the Filipina that I stayed with, and she's
You're saying she worked in a
She
dispensary?
worked in the dispensary, but also she was just like if there's anybody who could discern and critique weed as good as you, my partner here on the West Coast, Charmaine can do it on the East Coast because she works in a dispensary, but also because she smokes a lot of weed as well, which was my pasalubong when I brought it to her at the house, at her house. She got a lot of barrel men, and she also got some baggies of some autoflower. She got mango sherbet, I think, and zittles. Which you got some zittles.
I got some.
What did you think of the autoflowers after? Because this is like my first really full year of growing autoflowers fully. What did you think? Because you smoked all of them. Like Skywalker was an autoflower, but then so was zittles. So what did you think of the autoflowers?
So Skywalker, I liked. Skywalker is really hard to mess up, I feel, or it's not hard to mess up, but I mean, like,
but if you're gonna call something Skywalker, it better come out Skywalker.
Yeah,
it came out pretty Skywalker.
So it hit like a typical Skywalker.
Yeah.
I will say the zittles, it's very fragrant, right? Like you could smell it, right?
It's very sweet smelling.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
It's really fragrant. Out of a bong, it's a little harsh. It's a little spicy.
Okay.
But I think I mentioned, like, if you roll them up, right? Like, the joints are really nice. Like,
yeah. The joints and barrelmen of the zittles were really smooth and nice and really. But then that's kind of different weed for different smoking, at the end of the day.
But yeah,
so Skywalker is that fine where you could just smoke a bowl of it and you're good. Whereas I felt like zittles, for me, I had to smoke a whole joint of it to really get me there. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, I think, like, okay, if I had to compare the two, right? Like, Skywalker's a little more spongier. It's a little denser, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the zittles, I feel, were they really tall plants?
There was the one that was really tall, and then there was the one that was really short and dense, but then I had to break up the buds when I cured it so that it wouldn't get mold.
Yeah, so it's like
the Skywalker was the same way.
But I feel like the Skywalker was a little more compact, like it was a little more together. Like the zittles, like when you're breaking it up, like it's very it's not stemmy, but it's like very
more airy.
Yeah, it's very long, right? Like the buds are, instead of being like, like a little more together, like the buds are long, right?
Yeah, and separated.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still good.
It was still pretty good. It was decent. And again, there's like, for me now at this point, there's Barrowman weed, which is not, I won't say my mids, but it'll be like the stuff you got to smoke a lot of to get really high.
Yeah.
Because why are you going to put the really good in that? Because it's just too much weed to smoke, and then you're going to be too high. Like if you smoked a whole Barrowman of Limesy.
Yeah.
No, that's too much.
Yeah.
You'll be too stoned.
Yeah, and then like
you won't be able to do anything the whole day. Whereas if you smoked a Barrowman of Zittles, I mean, shit, come on. I could do anything on all those things, but at the same time, like your typical smoker could smoke a Barrowman of Zittles and still go about their day and be fine.
Yeah, but like. So, despite all the crap I was talking in the 420 episode, I ended up going to a dispensary on 420 and picking up some stuff. It is still taxed, but, like the shop I went to, everything was 50% off. So, I picked up stuff that I wouldn't normally smoke. Mm-hmm. So, I picked up a brand that I've been eyeing for a little bit. Like, I couldn't justify the price, like, for the amount, right?
Why? How much was it?
So regular price, I think it's...
By the way, through the whole episode, I'm going to be crunching these salmon chips because they are delicious, and I have the munchies. I have the munchies. I'm not going to lie.
It's okay.
And these are definitely satisfying munchies because they have that... here, let me do it again, okay? Satisfying crunch. Such a fucking satisfying crunch. Oh my god.
Oh man, all that crunching, you sound like a fatty.
First of all, I don't give a fuck what I sound like on the number 2 ranked Filipino American podcast in the world.
Tune in and hear Eric crunch.
No, but they're so good. The Tochi chips are so good. I told you.
We're not even sponsored yet. They sponsor us,
I don't
Tochi.
care. I don't care if I'm sponsored. They sponsored the comedy festival that I was in. So technically, I mean, I might as well give them a shout out here, because they were bomb. It's a small Asian, small business on the East Coast. Y'all should look them up. Salmon Tochi chips, bro. They're bomb as hell. I like it.
Anyway, so like I said, so I went to the dispensary. Went on 420. I had to go in between classes because I had a break, right? Like I had like a 3-hour break, so I went to the dispensary on my break, and I had to wait in line. I had to wait a couple minutes. It wasn't like an hour long wait, but I had to wait a minute because it was packed. Like there was. Like they had, they had like a food vendor. They had like a cupcake vendor. There was like a bus that was giving out like flash tattoos. Like there was a tattoo artist on the bus in the parking lot. And so
I don't know that I would want to get a tattoo on a bus.
I don't know either.
I don't know that it would be sanitary.
I don't.
Oh, bro, you should talk about your new tattoo too.
Hold on. Let me finish this one.
Okay, but I just looked at your new tattoo. It's
Thank you. But anyway, so I got in, and then everything was 50% off. So I tried this brand. It's called
50% off.
Yeah, everything.
But the tax was still.
Well, I had I still have my medical license.
Oh, so they didn't have as much tax?
As much, but it's still like 20-something%, man.
That's still crazy,
it's
man.
still a lot. So like there was this one brand that I've been eyeing for a while, but it's pricey.
What brand is it?
It's Blem, BLEM.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Right, so it's 10 grams for $110. So I bought 10 grams for $55, and I bought three types. Right, like I tried, and they were really good. So like, what I would say is like, for that brand, like I don't know if I would pay full price for it. Right, but I will say the quality was really good. Like the smoke was really good. Like how we say with like your homegrown you don't cough as much.
Yeah.
Right. So this had that quality, right? Like it was smooth. It was very smooth, right?
No, look. I mean, hopefully, I hope that there's still some good weed at the dispensary. Shoot.
No, there is. It's just you have to pay the premium, and like just that tax, man. That tax sucks.
But that like I was talking about for my trip to New York with that 100 milligram, the 100 milligram that I had in New York. Mm-hmm. I probably felt it for about a half hour, maybe, and not even, and it wasn't even a thing, like because I'd been smoking through the whole day anyway. So
that's how drinks are, though. Drinks hit you quick.
Well, they hit you quick, and then they're gone, which is the same as alcohol to a point. But also, but the cola that I had here lasted for a lot longer, and the high was a lot better.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember what brand that was?
I don't remember.
I remember you just.
I went and bought it again. I think I bought it twice because it was really nice. It was really nice, and that was the one we got. Was that the one we got from the event, or was that the one that we got? No. That was the one I specifically went to. Exhalants. This my spot, just like a couple miles, 2 exits up on my house.
There was that one time when we went with Nump to the warehouses too.
Oh no, those drinks didn't hit me at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, those were just okay.
Okay.
Those are like an example of like, oh no, these if they taste good, then cool, then this is a nice seltzer. But for the most part, no, it's. But with Dear Floor again, like the idea that it tastes like calamansi or it tastes like sampalok or it tastes like, whatever Filipino flavor it tastes like. That adds to the experience for me.
I think there's something in their formula that,
and also there's. I'll eat the whole pack just because that's me. That's how I do it. But once I eat all there's like 6 or 7 pieces. Well, how many pieces are in?
There's a lot. It's like 100 milligram pack. It's 5 pieces.
So then I probably
ate 20 of them.
I probably ate 20 of them. Yeah, because they were in my pocket.
Wait, at once or during the day?
Yeah, and like however long it takes to eat 20 pieces of candy.
You're just eating it like actual candy.
Yeah, I eat it like candy. It's fucking candy. What do you want from me?
No, but I know it's like candy, but it also has the fucking like a normal you or like an average user that would lay them on their ass.
I know,
like,
and I used it to walk the streets of New York.
And I was saying that Dear Floor, like, because that's the brand that my wife.
No,
likes.
shout out to Lisa and Brian for that pack because it got me through. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten the whole pack before my set, but I did. So what? It was a long subway ride.
No, but that's...
And I was hungry, so I ate all the candy. It was fine.
But that's what...
You see how I like the crunch? It wasn't a crunch, but it was satisfying chewy.
Okay, so just for comparison, guys, so my wife, she doesn't smoke at all, right? When we go out, like let's say like we'll go to Disneyland or anything, she'll have one. And then like if she's feeling wild, she'll have 1.5. Eric has whole fucking packs.
You're going to tell this story to your wife later on, aren't you?
No. I mean, like, my tolerance is high, too. But that's why.
Like, do you feel it before you eat the whole pack?
Yeah, like, that's why. Like, Dear Floor
I just told you I drank 100 milligrams in New York, and I felt it for like a half hour.
No, but
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's me.
But there's just, like, that's why. For me, I don't know what it is. There's something about Dear Floor, like, I can have, like, 2 or 3 pieces, and that'll get me good. Because usually I usually will take, like, RSO tablets, right?
See, and for me, I don't feel it until the end of the pack because...
How about
I like candy too.
Have you had RSO tablets though? Because those start the ones I use. They start at 50.
Yeah, I've done the tincture of it. You know, I've done the Rick Simpson oil tincture, which is basically the same dosage, just not in a capsule form.
Yeah.
So and that works. That's nice.
Because usually the fifth, like it's
and you're also putting it under your tongue at a good absorption point. So it's really. You get all of it, and it's nice.
No, but usually, like I'll take an RSO tablet, and
that's why I'm thinking about either making tincture or butter because, you know, like, am I gonna sit and make cookies all day? No, I might, but I might do
one
a
of those
tincture.
books, those because like the times I've tried to use butter or make butter, like I never get the dosages right.
Right, that's why I'm saying it's easier to make tincture. I can just get some Everclear, mix all my spare. You know, outdoor bud that I don't want to necessarily trim and just trim it all or just grind it all up and then run it through a tincture and run it through Everclear and then now I got cannabis tincture.
Yeah, but see, that's like a weed cocktail. That's what I do on a normal. Like I told you, like when you give me weed, sometimes I don't have enough jars, so I just mix.
Yeah.
But that would be like what a tincture
Well, no,
would
it's
be.
all actually, I have a big gallon plastic bag. I could show you after we're done of Jack Herrera.
Oh, you still have Jack?
From the outdoor Jack. Remember, I grew a bunch of outdoor Jack, and some of it was like big buds, and it was good, but some of it was airy buds. So I just put some of the airy buds in a bag, and I was going to either wash it or no, I got it. It's still there. It's still in the drying tent.
Which one was the one that got left out, and then it just turned into slush?
Oh, the stuff that my wife pulled out of the freezer?
Yeah, do you know what that was? You remember what that was?
Oh, that was Gelato 33. That was a long time ago.
Okay.
That was probably like season 1 of stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, that was fine. I mean, but that was a long time ago.
Here, let's switch gears since we're talking about all this. Grow update. What's going on right now?
Now it's just we're drying the Yoda Nana and the Limesy. They're the limes.
See, you
got me saying that shit. No, but the limes and the Yoda Nana are drying in one of the tents. We just shot our first part 1 of our seed to harvest reels, and it's we planted some more limesy or limes from the Humboldt Seed Company, and we reset one of the tents and cleaned it, and put new pots in there and planted seeds, and we're gonna see what happens. Because 'tis the season. Because we're gonna, this is the time, like May, June. This is the time you want to start planting your seeds because then you're gonna veg for June, maybe July, and then August, September if you're growing outdoors.
You think it's gonna be harder since it's summertime?
A little bit. I always find summer to be challenging, especially at the Buddha Lounge because
you're in the valley of Los Angeles.
Because it's hot. But at the same time, I've kind of adjusted my grow cycles to where I'm only vegging when it's hot. So as long as they're watered properly and watered regularly, they're fine. And I'm not even doing that every day. You know, if it's a really hot day, then yeah, I'll probably water. Like on a 90-degree day, I'm probably going to water that morning. But on a like 75, 80-degree day, I'm good. I can wait 2-3 days before I got to water again. But right now, where we're at is I'm kind of like at a give away the extra clones, but we still got the greenhouse. 4 outdoor chicken and waffles, and that seems to like
those are looking healthy.
Those look better outdoors than they did indoors.
The indoor, it's like I feel like they're not. I don't know what they're not getting enough of, but in the greenhouse, they're definitely getting enough of it.
And I think it's just regular sun. You know, like it's just there's something about actual sunlight that. UV light, no matter how many spectrum of light you have in there, you're still not going to capture the power of the sun. It's just not going to. You can duplicate it to a degree, I mean, and get the most intense light that you can, but nothing's ever going to beat the sun. You know, nothing man-made is going to beat the sun when it comes to light and growing plants. So that's probably what it is. Even the Jack Herrera, some of the plants were like that and some of them weren't. And part of that is the placement of where it is in the greenhouse and how much sun it was or was not getting. You know, because, you know, like the first season in the greenhouse was kind of weird because it wasn't as sunny. It was hot, but it was like overcast hot and cloudy a lot.
Yeah, it was muggy. It was very
weird.
humid.
It was weird. It was a weird summer in LA, the first summer growing in the greenhouse.
I feel that's like a normal thing now.
It kind of is to a degree.
It just gets humid. We're starting to turn into like Texas, like in terms of weather, like or Houston. You know how like they get.
I
that
really hope not. Texas. That's
global
gross.
warming.
Anyway, don't give me another reason to move back to Chicago.
So, you go back to Chicago.
I might. Anyway, no, and actually, speaking of which, I'll be back in Chicago because this episode's going to come out before then. I will be back in Chicago for the Asian Comedy Festival to close out AAPI Heritage Month in Chicago at the Comedyplex with a lineup of wonderful Filipino and not Filipino, just Asian, the diaspora of AAPI lineup of comics from Chicago, and I'm not headlining, but I'm on both shows, so that's pretty awesome.
Oh, and also here is what else we got coming up. We got
the comeback of the karaoke comedy all stars to Astronaut City,
May 23. Astronaut City, we got the karaoke comedy show.
Oh, and you know what we have before that? Well, because it'll be an episode, I'm sure, because we're going to record before we go to it. But next Friday, the 22nd, we will be at Blaze and Brush in LA. So if you want to blaze and brush with the Canna Kuyas, go to the Blaze and Brush LA and look up the classes, and we will be there on the May 22nd, The Wave show. Because that'd be cool if you guys, like, if you're listening to this and you are in SoCal and you have access to or want to go to Blaze and Brush, go to Blaze and Brush LA, look up the classes, May 22nd. You should blaze and brush with the Canna Kuyas, and we can just all get there early and dominate a table, and we can all sit together and we can smoke some of my homegrown and blaze up and paint a wave with Mitch.
Yes.
So just and a shout out to them,
yeah.
Blaze and Brush, because that was one of the funnest nights of being out solo as an adult in my life. Like in my adult life, I had so much fun. It was like being a kid and painting a picture, and you have your own artistic license to do what you want. But then, you know, the Jenna, the instructor's there to kind of guide you to paint the thing that you went out there to paint. But it's really a wonderful, and then you get to smoke. I haven't been that stoned in a minute because I ended up smoking 6 joints of that Skywalker.
Were you the one that was smoking the most at this session?
No. But I was the only one who. Well, I don't know if I was the only one because there was this one. There was a young girl sitting next to me, and she had this like shopping bag with her, and I was like. And then she pulled this bong that she had knit a sweater for. It was like a bong with a sweater on it, and she took the sweater off and packed the bowl. And she had a little jar of weed. So I don't know if it was her homegrown or if it, that was where she kept the weed. But that she had a little jar of weed, and then she had the little bong with the sweater on it. And then she was painting her koi picture like I was painting my koi picture.
Did they give you ashtrays?
Yeah, there's ashtrays on the tables, and then there's ashtrays. The paint's all there. There's an apron there for you. It says Blaze and Brush on the front. There's all the brushes and all the things you're gonna need to paint the painting. They're there in front of you, and all the things you're gonna need to smoke the weed. It's all there in front of you.
Oh, they give you pieces and stuff too, or
they will provide pieces and you can rent them, but you're better off just bringing your own.
Okay.
If you want to smoke out of a piece, but I thought for the first time is I just rolled a bunch of joints. And then I had a barrel man, blunt, big one to smoke for the end of it. But after smoking 6 Skywalker joints, I was like, "Yo, I'm too stoned to drive home. I shouldn't. Drive. I shouldn't smoke this blunt."
Yeah.
Also, so then I ended up giving the blunt to the instructor, and,
nice.
And so hopefully she enjoyed it.
But
that experience, if you're a pothead in LA, and I guess they have classes in Denver too. Blaze and Brush. I guess people did this with wine. And
yeah. I remember.
But
when they used
I
to
would never want to do that because I'd end up having a headache by the end of the. I would have a headache by the end of the painting, and I might not want to finish the painting. I might want to go to sleep.
I was just thinking of okay, you said wine, we got weed, right? Like, what did the events for the other one? Like, there's a cocaine. Is
there a cocaine in paint? I don't know if there's a cocaine in paint.
Cocaine.
That would be fucked up if there was a cocaine in paint.
Or like a meth.
although I wouldn't mind going to the Blaze and Brush and doing microdose of shrooms beforehand.
Mushrooms and Matisse, maybe. I don't know.
I wouldn't mind because there's like this mushroom painting day that I'm like, let's just make it a day and do mushrooms during the day and then paint a mushroom painting in the evening.
So you can think about that because like weed is legal, but you can't have like a ketamine and chill. Like you can't have.
And ayahuasca and pottery and some shit.
Like you get like some sort of arts and crafts, like and just like doing some fucking crazy shit.
Now, like I said, our Blaze and Brush experience is literally when you talk about a podcast where we talk about cannabis. What's the tagline again? You're the one who says it. I forgot.
Cultivating conversations.
Cultivating conversations about cannabis culture and creativity. Yeah. That is literally the epitome of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like being creative and blazing up. And it was like I said, it was so much fun, and I super enjoyed it. I can't talk enough about it. It's a great experience.
Yeah.
To be creative
support Blaze and Brush because their previous idea, LSD and woodwork, didn't work out.
That's your idea. That is your idea. First, I wouldn't do LSD
and woodwork though.
And I wouldn't. Why would I want to be around sharp objects when I'm on LSD? That is down. I wouldn't want to be around sharp objects sober. I wouldn't want to be around woodworking. Come on now. I'm not fucking Nick Offerman. Another great Chicago actor, though. Shout out to Nick Offerman. We're at. I'm really excited about rebooting the first 10 and then also seeing what this next round of Yoda Nana comes out to, because basically I cloned the strongest Yoda Nana and then cloned it a bunch and had about 6 in there. One of them died and I replaced it with a Limes clone. Mm-hmm. And so there was a Limes and 5 Yoda Nana in there. So we're gonna harvest all that this week. And I'm really excited to see how it turned out because the buds were beautiful. But also, like being flush with weed in New York and being flush with weed when I'm traveling is really it's empowering, man. I really love it, and
I'm still too scared to travel with it, man. Like,
I mean, I guess I'm admitting it here, but I mean, they also, I work at an airport, and TSA says they don't check for it.
no, I know they're looking for explosives and a lot harder things.
Like I remember that we were carrying some new pastries at the restaurant, and I was talking to my manager, and you know how when I like something, I call it bomb. Oh, it tastes bomb. He's like, don't describe the food that way at the airport. And I'm like, whoops, sorry, I shouldn't say that at the airport.
End up on a no-fly list, Eric.
I'm probably on one already. No, but I'm really excited about the seeds because the seeds have been a little pesky this season. I've only really gotten I popped a lot of seeds and not anything has popped lately. I'm wondering whether it's the heat of the Buddha Lounge that might be doing something to them, or I'm not really sure. But I'm hoping that this next round, this round of seeds that we just planted, some of these pop because I planted a lot of seeds, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't want to, but then you end up with too many plants if you plant too many seeds and they all pop. So we'll see what happens.
Johnny Marijuana Seed.
Me?
Yeah.
Johnny Cannabis?
Johnny Cannabis Seed?
Yeah, Johnny Cannabis Seed.
Just going around the country planting cannabis seeds.
No, I don't want to do that because then I want to see them grow. I like watching them grow. I like watching all of it. That's why I like when some seeds don't pop, I get sad because I'm like, oh.
You want to know an interesting fact? I learned about this recently. So the story of Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed was actually like a bootlegger.
Yeah, it was like they would do alcoholic cider. It wasn't. Yeah, because back in the day, like it was safer to drink beer and cider than it was to drink water because you could get sick from drinking water that wasn't boiled or cleaned or whatever. Like you get nasty water. Instead, you knew that the cider or the beer is fermented because it had alcohol in it, so it was much safer to drink. So
yeah, he wasn't trying to just plant apple orchards to feed people.
He was trying to do apple orchards to have a cider, a cidery.
Yeah, he was setting up distilleries.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
But when you think about this, the whole thing and how stories were framed, it would and then you hit that what's that the history is told by the victors, and a lot of things that were framed in a American Pie, wholesome homemade kind of way are actually shady beginnings. Like Vegas, or
it's a gangster paradise.
Yeah, or any number of things that you can think about in America. A lot of the things are shady business.
Dude, our like the Los Angeles water, like drinking water, right?
Dodger Stadium.
We stole that. Like we divert that from the Colorado, and we're having problems with it now because...
I mean, there's still footage of the people getting put out for Chavez Ravine, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff that...
Chinatown, that movie Chinatown.
I mean, we're talking about earlier, before the podcast, when we were smoking, about how it's so hard to avoid supporting and or being a part of shitty businesses that do shitty things, because... so many of them are monopolies of things that you can't really avoid it anymore.
You just have to choose the lesser evil.
Correct. Or grow your own.
Yeah.
Which is what we do. And but I gotta say I was intrigued by what you were saying about your visit to the dispensary, because it like the parts about like when you were interacting with the people. I don't know if you mentioned that on the pod when you were telling the story, but at the same time that's part of what I miss about the being part about the cannabis community, and so, that part is a little bit when you grow your own, you tend to be solitary. So
now that you mention it, so what Eric is talking about, so when I was waiting in line on 420, like I said, the line was a little long, so I was just chilling, and I got to know the people that were with me in line. And like one of the dudes, he was like you could tell this dude was a banger back in the day, right? So he was telling me like, oh, hey, what do you like to smoke out of? And I told him, I was like, oh, I like bongs. You know, he's like, oh, I can't do bongs. I got shot and I only have one lung, so I just smoke joints. I can't even do blunts no more. They hurt my chest. And I was like, oh, crazy, right? And we started talking about like, like back in the day, how the weed shops. He's like, yeah, man, it's not different anymore. Like, I remember, like back in the day, you go into a weed shop, there'd be a lot more love. Like there'd be a lot more. Everything was in jars. You could just pick it up and smell it. And then you just ask a bunch of questions, right? Now it's kind of like you gotta be in and out. You gotta know what you want. Like he's like the bud tenders look at you all crazy if you ask too many questions, right? Like,
right.
So
it's become corporate. It sucks. That part of it is, to me, like when I stopped knowing the bud tenders, and it was treated like a transaction. Mm-hmm. That's when I was not necessarily turned off. And I guess it's just because I'm old school, I guess. Because I am. I mean, shit, I'm 52 years old. I'm old school. It's fine. But same time, I like that. I miss that personal interaction with folks.
Yeah.
And I don't get that at all growing my own. But that's why I have this podcast and I can hang with you, because I like to share my weed with you. I like to share my weed with Mikey, even though he calls me at like
3 in the morning.
3 in the morning when I'm on the road in New York.
No, I do. You know what I do miss? And it's because like I was in my early 20s. I do miss going into a dispensary, and then the bud tenders would all be super cute, right?
Oh.
And they would flirt with you and get you to buy more stuff. And I'd be like, I don't care. Just gas me up, girl. Like, like we can stroke my ego real quick. Like, make me feel good about my purchase, Like, and that like, that part of the industry, now it's like, what do you want? All right, cool. That'll be blah, blah, blah. Like there's no, I don't know.
No, I mean, even though it's different, it's the same as, the old guy with the fucking, with the one lung, the interaction with the community is different. The interaction with there's still pretty chicks behind the counter, but they're not friendly anymore. They're like the pretty chicks that work at Nordstrom now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Eric's gotten shot down at Nordstrom a bunch of.
First of all, I don't get shot down. I didn't get shot down at Nordstrom. They knew my name at Nordstrom. Excuse me. I racked up such a large credit card bill at Nordstrom because there were so many cute chicks that worked there. I'm so dumb. But anyway, that's another story for another time.
Oh, that's great.
No, but like, it's different. It's a different transaction now.
Yes.
It's not as personable. And I think that's true for a lot of things in our society.
Customer service skills are not as existent as they used to be.
But then when you find it, it's great.
Yeah.
But
like when people are good at their job and like really good at like communicating and actually like making you feel like, because like, I remember, like, I hated selling things. When I used to work sales, like, I freaking hated it, right? Like, I always felt like I don't want to convince people to buy stuff they don't need, Like, if you needed something, come to this store, and this is where we have it. Let me help you out with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and nowadays, it's kind of just like, are you going to buy it or what? Like, it's kind of like that's the attitude really, you get from a lot of the...
But it's also, well... And that now will be because we started the complaining of the 420 episode, with how things aren't the way they were when we were coming up, and again, like, it's just the world is changing, and you kind of got to adapt to it, And so for me, I'm just happy that I have a little bit extra money now to save and grow weed with, because, like I said, being able to share it without regard for my supply, and just being able to that be my kind of currency with people is pretty cool, because I know a lot of potheads, and I've said it now since I can pass it out. If you give a joint to somebody, you give a joint to a pothead, you could probably hand them a $50 bill, and they're probably going to remember the joint more than you hand them some cash. Mm-hmm. It's just you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if they work in the service industry, because they get handed cash all the time. Because I always remember the instances when I meet somebody and we share cannabis. It's like we're cousins.
I get you when you're saying that, but I will say I do recall the few times I've tried to pass out weed and people are like, no.
Well, yeah, there's been a few times where, I remember we at one Astronaut City show. At the beginning of the show, I was trying to give the guys, remember an audience member some joints?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, no, I don't take weed from strangers. But by the end of the show, they were smoking outside with us.
Yeah.
So it's a different, that's why, that's part of it. That's exactly it. That's exactly why I love having as much weed that I can at my disposal, that I can smoke with audience members at the end of the show. And, I can close out the show with like, and if anybody feels like smoking, we'll meet me outside after the show. You know what I mean? Like that type of, like, I like that very much. And if I can get, and then like, if people who come see the show bring me weed, like, hey, here's my homegrown, try it. Oh my God, that would be awesome. That's kind of, I mean, when you realize, like, the cool thing about that whole thing that we opened the podcast with, where we were ranked second behind This American Life, the coolest thing about that is that there are people listening, and it's pretty cool to know that people are able to break down and discern our babbling after we smoke my homegrown.
Yeah, for a show that doesn't have like a very tight structure, you guys tune in consistently, and we thank you for that.
Seriously, it's pretty dang cool, and I really appreciate everybody. Because if you've been listening now and you're listening to the end of the podcast, then you're probably one of the people who helped us get to number 2 in the rankings for Filipino American podcasts. So just thank you guys for listening, and I don't know, watch out for more, because like I said, I really want to bring out more really good specific Filipino American cannabis programming to this podcast. Not to be numbered 1, but just to really make our content specific, so that what you're getting when you come here. And there's going to be cooler things, because like I said, follow us on Instagram for the first seed to harvest reel that we started, part 1 with the reset of the tent. I'm going to upload that video soon, but follow us on Instagram. And
then on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, whatever, even though you shouldn't be using Spotify. But I mean, like, if you're on there, Apple, whatever, make sure, like, subscribe.
And there's so many podcasts.
Yeah. Leave us a little comment, rate us 5 stars. Like a little 5 minutes out of your day means a lot to us. And it helps
the more
us.
5-star ratings we get on Apple Podcasts, it just helps with the algorithm.
And it just encourages us to do more, because we know that you guys are listening and are enjoying it. So
and trust that we are planning on doing more. We're shooting videos. We're building the studio here at the 1-2 Productions to where we can have longer sit down videos where you can when we'll have significant guests from the community and also from the cannabis community. Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
All right.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know. We're coming up on an hour soon. So
all right, well, then let's sign off, folks. So you've been listening to the Canna podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm Mitch Narito.
And I am Eric Esteban.
And to all our marijuana ates and Canna Kuyas, stay lifted.
Stay elevated.
Peace, y'all.
Number 2. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Dalwa.
Wait, but screaming number 2 kind of sounds like number,
need to go.
like
go.
poo.
Yeah.
That's... Anyway.
We're the shit, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my hoodie on, now peep the chest as human catalyst. Downtown Chula Vista, on 3rd Ave where I go cop some shit. Fuck a thief, so fuck zoomies, yeah, they whack ass jacket shit. Yeah, I move too swift, so I striking silence. Fuck the violence, man, check my mileage, cause I got driving. First tour, I drove 6 states, never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, building enterprise, move supersize. Y'all lecture like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize, yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too though, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Gang, highest in the room, yo, we get fucked up. Ay, you can count on Trey, can't bring the loud pack. Ay, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run. Yeah, keep the up or leave the fuck a Folgers. Little bitch, I made the beat and dropped the full verse. I just hit a steelo, I got dripped up. Package born and raised, bitch, I got dripped up. Y no se compara. Yo estoy con mi pana, se llama Trega, fumando ganja. Estamos con Cali, fumando en Cali, yo sé que traen ganas. Ella me dice, papi, que terminamos la cama. Highest in the room, yeah, we get fucked up. Ay, you can count on Trey, can't bring the loud pack. Ay, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run.
Yeah, we got hits like Tatis and Machado. Man, we know you're not a leader, cause all our moves you just follow, packing big bowls. You know we just scooped up that gelato, cause I smoke killer. My shirt iller, yo, ask our dealer. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too though, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I rarely rock designer.